Let's go. Let's do this.
All right. Welcome back to part 4, the longest
Podcast
series
ever.
that we ever done. Part 4 of the episode on my testimony or different topic or
Or whatever, because we're winging it, don't forget.
name. Yes.
We're still winging it.
Yes.
It
And
should be
thanks for
noted.
returning to-
It should be noted. We don't rehearse. Quite often, Jamie and I don't know what we're talking about until, sometimes just before we press record.
Yeah. And we knew we wanted to do something on some of my work, so this is
it.
I didn't know how to approach it because it's it's not a normal testimony. I keep using that word because that's what they use in church and stuff. And it's
I see. Whereas you
to me,
use the word normal, whereas I would actually use the word. It's not a dramatic testimony.
yes.
It's different perspectives, different words.
Yeah. So before we ended last time, Emma did say she had some questions.
I do, and I'm going to get straight into them because I think you've talked enough. And I would also like it to be recognised that I don't think I interrupted you at all, and I think I deserve a pat on the back for that. Because I do tend to interrupt. My questions aren't so much based specifically on your path, but they are based about what differences have you noticed living within prison since that change, since the belief has become stronger. How do you live differently? Do you live differently?
Even prior to that, I don't do anything illegal or violation. That would be a violation of rules. I don't do that anyway. I stopped doing that a while ago. And I think it just solidified the path I was already on, because my path was, it's not dramatic like a lot of people. And I started with education first.
Yeah.
So maybe God put education in front of me. I always had difficulty reading the Bible. I couldn't make sense of it. So the education, learn how to read on my own, earning a bachelor's degree with no professors. All you do is do your assignments, your exams.
Yeah.
You have proctored exams, and that gave me the ability to comprehend.
Yeah.
To develop that ability to comprehend. Then that pushed me, once I started doing criminology and criminal justice, and I know this is a little bit off topic. But
no, it's actually not. There's no such thing as off topic.
I started looking at rehabilitation. Why did I commit crime? How did I develop that desire to want to commit crime? And so I had to look at, it was a lot of introspection.
Yes.
And so then I saw that what I was doing was nothing new. I wasn't slick. They've been studying criminals for a long time.
Yeah.
So
you weren't
nothing I was
anyone.
doing was special. It was a typical. And then, I stopped doing anything negative in prison. And it's been well over a decade, approximately 16 years. And then I still felt an absence. And that was the relationship with God. I kept being drawn, the ethical side, the moral side, because you can come from philosophy or a religious perspective.
Yeah.
As far as ethics and morals. Yeah. And I felt, that lost there. So that pulling was towards God. And so it has separated me a lot in here from individuals I used to associate with.
Yeah.
I associate with more religious, Christian, Muslim even Jewish individuals
Yeah.
that have those beliefs. You know, people that are doing more positive than negative.
Yeah.
But I still associate with the negative because trying to help them. And that was one of the questions. Actually, that was one of the questions by the Committee on Ministry was, why do I think churches, all denominations, are losing membership?
Yeah.
Christians.
Yeah.
And I said, because I think that leadership, pastors of churches have lost the way of being able to communicate with this younger generation.
Relate.
And I think that you can't just go in there on a 100% religious perspective and quoting verses at some of these troubled youth. You can't do that. You have to show them that you could be normal. You could do everything you want to do. And I even, and it's funny because I even asked Pastor Deb before, I said, can you have a drink? You know?
Yeah.
And because I remember that one, what is it, Gran Torino?
Yeah.
The Clint Eastwood movie?
Yeah.
Where the priest goes into the bar.
Yeah.
And he says, well, give me a gin and tonic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I asked her, and she said, yes, you can. There's nothing saying you can't do it. And especially if you're trying to help someone. So I see a different way, and that's the way I answered those questions for the Committee of Ministry.
Yeah.
You have to be able to get out there and relate to them in a way that you don't push them away.
Yeah. Yes.
And I believe holding the Bible in the hand, beating the Bible is a way of pushing away. They look at you as, all right, a Bible thumper or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's and that's how I approach it in here. I still communicate and associate with individuals, and if they need help, then I'm there for them. But in this type of environment, you can't just push it on them.
No. So then, you don't necessarily live differently, as in your outward actions. You're not running around trying to, screaming, confess, change your ways or whatever, which is a positive, that's for sure. But has it changed?
You try to find those individuals that are taking that step, and then you can help them even more. But beyond that, it's I made that transition, that change through education to where.
So would you say then education,
part of my life.
Would you say education had a bigger effect and change on you, like a more dramatic?
When it comes to crime, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to morals and
ethics, caring
about others, ethics and caring about other people. I think religion, Christianity had a larger effect.
Now, I know people love to stipulate their particular denominations and belief systems. Are you one of those people that tends to have trouble listening and relating to somebody else's opinion when it's a different belief system, or are you not that? You're not that way inclined. Like, say, for example, I start going on about my belief system that's different to yours in the respect that you believe in Jesus Christ and I don't. On the limited conversations we have had about that, you've never appeared to have lost your mind about that, which I do appreciate.
No.
Because I know people that lose their minds over the differences. And
I mean, we have people in here that are Christian that don't believe Catholics are Christian. So I mean, it's.
Do you know it's funny? Because
I have more of a problem with them than I do someone that is not a Christian.
Yeah.
And I relate with Muslims. I relate with Jewish brothers well, I would say sisters, but there's no sisters in here, but just
Yeah.
Jewish brothers too. So it doesn't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Because because people have such a hard time, and I think that's something in general with when you talk about religion, people have a very specific way of thinking about religion, and it's usually some of the things you said, like you were surprised they could have a drink, you were surprised she wasn't a Bible basher, you know, you apart from her collar, she looked like a normal person, like you were surprised by that.
Yeah. And that's, you know, because all three, Islam, Christianity, and
Judaism,
we all believe in the same God.
Yeah.
The approach to get theirs might be a little different, but it's the same single God.
Yeah.
So no matter what, it's right.
Do you know, I'd actually go as far as to say, now, this will either lose you completely or not, but I would actually go to as far as to say every belief system with a deity, even paganism, even that sort of animism stuff. If you really want a bigger picture and zoom out, God is just like like an energy form. You know, some people call it the universe, all that sort of stuff. To me, that's how far out I sort of think when so I can relate. I can hear what people say about different, belief systems, and some of the things I'm a bit sort of like, oh my God, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But I wouldn't say it, but I would think it.
Let me, because so we can sum it up on this fourth episode because we only have a couple minutes.
I forgot we were recording.
Actually, the United Church of Christ is a unique. Because I read about a church in Minnesota where they have a sweat lodge outside the church.
Yeah.
Because the population there are 40 Native Americans.
Yeah.
So, I like that. Pastor Deb used to use Islamic prayers and Native American prayers in church.
Yeah.
And the United Church of Christ is open to that.
Yeah.
They're very inclusive for everyone.
Yeah.
And I really like that about the church.
Mm.
So that's what attracted me to the church.
See, I wonder. Sorry.
Because we are coming up on because we can always continue, more discussions on.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to go on
the religious, which I think we should, because this is my path, and this is a podcast with me and you. So
yeah.
But any last quick question?
I don't have quick questions, especially when it comes to these sorts of subjects. So I think we'll leave it. We will talk about this sort of stuff again, and we will post this sort of stuff again. And if people are interested, they'll listen, and if they're not, then they won't.
Yeah. And maybe they could see that, the United Church of Christ might be a church for them because it's so inclusive. It's open.
It does seem very inclusive.
They were one of the first denominations for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
And women pastors. And
yeah.
So they're very, very open.
Because it wasn't that long ago people were losing their minds about women pastors and the...
yes.
Yeah, I can remember that. People were losing their minds about that.
Yes, and that could be another topic. But we appreciate you tuning in and listening to another episode, a 4-part series episode.
Something.
Of this,
I'm still winging it.
Of prison. Yeah.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And that is the sign that we have come to another phone call.
So I'm
this one's a pretty long one. So.
Yeah. Oh well, listen.
And we want to thank Emma. We do want to thank Emma for doing this for me and doing this with me, and.
That's for sure. I could be asleep right now.
And we hope Emma does a lot for me, so.
Not that much.
So make sure you tune in for the next episode.
Bye.
Do you have any further words?
No.
Bye-bye.
Bye.